Okay, we're live.
Apparently, we're live. My name is Tanya. This is my friend Carol. This is E Squared Productions bringing you a live from Let's Get Infinite. Today, we're going to talk about, are we ever ready? Like, do you ever ask yourself the question, oh, I want to do that, but I'm not quite ready yet. And I'm not ready because I need to read that book or have more education or lose the weight or gain the weight or whatever it is that we tell ourselves a story about, that we're not good enough right here, right now to do and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. Does anyone else use that as an excuse as to not yet, maybe later, hopefully later? I
Yeah,
know that's been true for me through my life. How about yourself, Carol?
yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how there's some things that we're supposed to do and some rules we're supposed to follow. I don't know whoever made up those rules, but how many people here? Oh, I can't see my hand. How many people here think that in order to be successful in life, you got to hold down a good job and you got to work hard? I've been buying that for a really long time, and it's funny that I decided to break free of that. Actually, I haven't even notified anybody of that. Was I ever ready to actually leave my job? I decided the end of last year to submit my resignation to this job that I actually really love. There's
Mhm.
components of it that obviously are less lovable, but the meaning and the value behind all of that was really amazing. And I was asking myself, I mean, here I'm working locally. I'm working for an incredible company for an incredible reason. We're doing work with First Nations. I mean, how much better could that be? Literally living my dream job, working from the comfort of my own home, and I want to leave? When when would that ever make sense? See?
Well, and so that's the idea, right? It doesn't make sense here, but sometimes we forget to connect here to here. So what's really driving things? Like what's the real desire? And I think, quite often we can stay stuck in a place where we're not entirely happy. We haven't entirely expressed ourselves. There's this want or desire that's further down the road that seems like a long way away. And we convince ourselves quite often that we need to put these steps in place in order to take the leap and take the plunge. And what I'm finding out is by taking the plunge and taking the leap, that those things start to organize themselves, because when I'm in a holding pattern and I'm not ready yet, I'm indicating to the universe, God, whatever you'd like to call the higher power, uh, that I'm not ready. And when I'm not ready, there it can't support me. So what I'm coming to understand is the universe is always conspiring to support me, even in those moments when I feel like maybe it's thrown me a curveball or I get knocked to my butt and I have to,
Especially
especially when
when.
that, especially when that. But sometimes it's hard to discern in the moment, certainly, because it feels victimizing. I know I've certainly felt victimized by some of my circumstances, people, places, and things that felt like, well, this wasn't what I wanted. This is what I asked for, and yet, when I'm able to move through the feelings, the emotions, the experiences, in fact, that thing that I thought was the wrong thing turns out it was maybe the thing that was best supportive for me to actually make a change that's palpable in my life and that gets me somewhere. So, anyone else relate to what we're talking about here today? Yeah.
Yeah, and the fear, the limitation, the lack. Am I in a position right now to not have an income coming in? No. The answer to that is no. But am I in a position to actually follow my heart? Yeah. Is it time for me to want to actually live and pursue my dreams and live my biggest and best life possible? Live my purpose? Yes. And is that true for you too? Yes. So when is a good time? Now. Well,
As Arlene Ranelli would say, now is good.
now is
Now is
good.
good.
I know I would, but but there's this and there's that and there's this payment and there's that payment and what about this? And all of these things that we can think about to talk ourselves out of living from our heart and our best life possible.
Yeah, I mean, when I consider how long I have waited in my life to get to a place where I felt worthy enough, educated enough, smart enough to actually take any kind of consideration around me having value in the marketplace, There's a great deal of sadness that sits because it's been a long time for me to realize what's always been true.
Mhm.
So it was true 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. It was true yesterday. And yet I have talked myself out of the actual truth by receiving information that wasn't even informed by me. It was outside information. It was societal conditioning. It was family systems. It was
Not
something
even
that wasn't
true.
not even true. Not even true. And so it feels really good to have taken a leap of faith. But I'll tell you, it took some inspiration to do so, right? So I remember back in September being really motivated by Mike Dooley's teachings, but in particular, Rebecca Sagoda. Her, when she started speaking, I thought, you know what? There's something to this. Here's a kindred soul. She was unsure of herself at first, and yet she eventually took steps to get herself out into the world and start to develop the plan of how her unique talents and gifts were going to give to others. And now I see that growing exponentially so many times, right? Where that ripple has touched my life. And in that ripple effect, I then go and start to create incremental changes in my life that then start to inspire others. And so, what can we do today that can inspire someone to say, yeah, you know what? I'm ready. I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Woohoo.
Yeah. It feels so good. And, when we make choices that support our highest selves, when we're really, like, really, really honoring the deepest parts of us, there's a flow that begins to happen that's almost unexplainable, because when we explain it, you'd be like, right, nah, can't be. I was one of those people who questioned that and thought that was impossible. I remember sitting there in a room. Nope. And now, when I remember to surrender and allow the magic of life to unfold for me and actually just go in the flow, the most incredible circumstances, people, opportunities, conversations, these things start to envelop around. Oops, sorry about that. Envelop around. And it's, I feel like I'm just floating away. I could not be more happy, more
Which is
content, and more peaceful.
such a beautiful experience, such a beautiful feeling. And for those of you who haven't felt that maybe ever or a long time, maybe it's time. Maybe this message is the call to action that says, you're ready.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're dreaming of, you're ready for it. Please take a step in that direction. Take a leap of faith, knowing that the universe will conspire to support you in whatever ways it needs to. Now,
And
back in
we're part of
September,
that universe.
yes, we
Sonia
are.
and I are part of this. She and I got
Absolutely.
that. Look at that, fingers going in the right direction this time.
It is. We figured that out. I think that, oh yeah, I did it too. And the idea that, back in September, there was some trepidation, certainly, of can I, how will I, and coming back to Mike Dooley, his famous, don't worry about the cursed hows, because when we get entangled in the, but I don't have income and I'm going to need to do this, and how am I going to do that? And how's this going to work? We get so tied up in those things that we can only focus on those things. When we go into the broader picture of what is it that I want, all of a sudden things start to open up, right? And like Carol just said, serendipities magically occur.
Magic.
Magic. It is pure magic. So you're ready. We're ready. And here we are readying ourselves to be it on our lives more often, to be more consistent with that so that we can build our audience, reach out and touch you. We'd love to hear from you. This is E Squared Productions and a Let's Get Infinite moment with Carol and Tanya.
Yes, come out
Take
and
good
join
care.
us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Meet our little community that we've built that really just so honors and cherishes each other. We hold each other up in the light and in the love, and encourage each other when things are going a bit sideways. And it is one of the most honoring places. And starting our days with this group of people is just so powerful. Please join us. Give it an opportunity. You don't even have to turn your camera on if that will make you feel more comfortable. Let's get infinite together.
Yes. Beautiful.
See
Take
you,
good care, my friend.
everyone.
Bye.